Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Movies for Authors. Today, we're going to be doing American Sniper. And interestingly enough, I watched this movie a couple weeks ago, made notes, and had prepared to do this as my episode 2 before I really realized it was going to fall on July 4th week. And I'm not really making any sort of political or patriotic statement by doing the movie this week, but there it is, and that's kind of what it is. I'm going to kind of go with it. American Sniper was written by Jason Hall. It was directed by the great Clint Eastwood. I really like him as a director. It tells a great story. It's based on the story of Chris Kyle and his memoir of the war in Iraq and his experiences as one of the most successful snipers in American history, if not the most successful sniper in American history. As I said, or as you may know, it was nominated for several Oscars: Best Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Picture. Probably should have been nominated for Best Director again for Mr. Eastwood, but you know, he's kind of put himself on a more conservative political path, and so maybe I don't know how that affected that. But it's difficult to do a movie based on a biography. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to look at this, because I'm a history major. I love history. I love movies based on history. I love it when they get it right and they do a really good job. But it's difficult to do movies like that because true life doesn't kind of fit in a 2-hour window of a great story. And so it's hard to kind of piece something like that together for, you know, American audiences or just an audience. And so I thought they did a really good job with this movie. The quote of the movie. Let's kind of skip ahead to the quote of the movie. Chris Kyle is, you know, they're in bed. He's with his wife, and he's kind of dealing with all these kind of issues and stuff from the war. And she's kind of giving him a hard time and saying, "I want my husband back." And she says this. She says, "You've done your part. You've sacrificed enough. Let someone else go." And his response was, "I couldn't live with myself if I did." That really describes the theme of the movie. It really describes the kind of the idea of the movie, and kind of leads us into what we as authors need to be cognizant of as we're writing characters, as we're crafting characters, we're kind of building characters. We have to give them a motivation that works, that we can look back to. What's their motivation? How do they make choices? How do they put themselves into different situations, take risks or not take risks, or whatever it might be? And in this movie, the motivation of Chris Kyle is he's a protector. He's a sheepdog. At the very beginning of the movie, there's this conversation with his father, where his father says this: "There are 3 types of people in this world: sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Some people prefer to believe that evil doesn't exist in this world, and if it ever darkened their doorstep, they wouldn't know how to protect themselves. Those are sheep. Then you've got predators who use violence to prey on the weak. They are the wolves. And then there are those who are blessed with the gift of aggression and overpowering need to protect the flock. And these men are the rare breed who live to confront the wolf. They are the sheepdog." And so as you can see, Chris, this is his motivation throughout his whole life. He's protecting his younger brother when he's young. He goes off to war because of 9/11. He becomes a sniper and gets involved in all these kind of different, very dangerous situations because he wants to protect people. He wants to help them. He wants to save as many people as he can. But the interesting thing about the movie is that it takes him into dangerous places. It takes him into crisis. His motivation takes him into crisis. That makes it a good story. And political controversy aside of that kind of surrounded this movie, that makes a good character. If we can look at a character's motivation and see where it kind of takes them to an extreme, or has them make mistakes, or even noble decisions, or puts them into a crisis, or takes them out of a crisis, or how does it lead them within a crisis, and all that kind of stuff, it makes a good story. And it makes a good character. So as authors, we really need to try to boil down for our main characters what's their motivation, who are they, and the core of who they are as people that guides their decision making throughout the process of the story. Makes for a much better character and a much better story. So until next time, this is Britt Mooney. Peace. Have a good day.